Hello everybody, welcome to part 8. Today we're going to use what we've learned so far and we're going to build ourselves a little mini text adventure game. And I will quickly demo that for you and show you what it's supposed to look like. So let's increase this and excuse me. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So we'll run the game. You're in a dark room. There's a door to your right and left. Which one do you take? Let's go left. Well, let's go right. Here you see the great evil whatever. Whatever stares at you and goes insane. Do you flee for your life or eat your head? I'm going to pick flee. You're in a dark room. There's a door to your right and left. Let's go left. There's a bear here. The bear has a bunch of honey. The fat bear is in front of another door. How are you going to move the bear? Let's taunt the bear. The bear is moved from the door. You can go through it now. So let's try to open the door. Oh, this room is full of gold. How much do you take? Let's just take a bunch. How's that sound? Ah, you greedy bastard. Good job. And that's the end of the game. So, let's bounce over and examine the code for this game. Let's hop into presentation mode and see. Alright, so let's show line numbers so that I can reference it. Okay, line number 3, we have a simple import statement. And from the system, we're importing exit. And all we're importing that is so that we can actually exit out of the game. So you can see here we have a function, and this is the gold room. So the main goal of the game. And that was what you saw at the end. How much do you take? And we have, within that function, we have a raw input. So we can decide how much we're going to take. And we have this if statement. If 0 in next, or 1 in next, how much is equal to the integer next? If not, then we're going to spit out learn to type a number. Then we have another if statement following. If how much is less than 50, print nice, you're not greedy, you win. And then it exits. Else, dead, you greedy bastard. Now, so let's see what else we got here. Bear room. This is the bear room. All these print statements, and we have, notice how we have bear moved to false, and that is to set up our loop here, our while loop statement. So we're just saying while this is true, while this statement is true, we're going to give them an input. If next we're in the bear room, take honey, we die. The bear looks at you and slaps your face off. If we do taunt bear and bear is not moved, print the bear has moved from the door, you can go through it now. And then we reset that bear moved to true. If next equals taunt bear and bear has already moved, so we've already moved it and we taunt the bear again after he's moved out of the way, the bear gets pissed off and chews off your leg. Makes sense. And after all of that, so if next equals open door and the bear has moved, we go straight to the gold room. And if not, we tell him, I have no idea what that means. Here's our crazy room. And we have the same kind of, well, basic thing to do here. We have our input. If flee and next, we go back to the start. So just like the starting menu which we'll get to just down here. I don't know why I scrolled up. So if flee in the next, so remember this, it says, do you flee for your life or eat your head? So if we typed in flee, it's going to move us down to this function here, which is the beginning of the game. If we had put head in next, then we would have died. And else, we go back to this room. So if we print anything other than that, we'll come back to this room. So it's not really a loop. It's not as trivial as a while loop here, but we really didn't need a while loop. We could, do exactly what we needed to do with just some conditionals there. So then we have our dead, and we print y. So we pass through that value or that argument y. So then we print y, and then good job. And this is what that import statement was for. When we die, exit. Out we go. Okay, so the start of the game looks like this. And if next, we go right, left, else, we die. You stumbled around the room till you starve. So if for some reason you don't pick left or right and you say up, you'll see you'll die. And at the end we have our start function to start the game. So you can see this is kind of a stack on what we've learned so far, and it's incorporating it into something that's actually fun. So this is a nice little game, and it's not too terribly tough to beat. If you're interested, the UnitedCodeClub.org, we are working on a community project as of now. We have a GitHub up there, and we're working on our own text-based RPG adventure game, and it's going to be all object-oriented, which we'll get to in other videos, and it's going to be really cool. So let's hop out of here. Let's exit the full screen. Alright. And whoops. Exit presentation. Okay, that takes care of that. Let's see if I had anything else for you. Yes, I was going to go over these two things as well. What we have here is lists, okay? Now, excuse me, didn't really get into lists that much in the beginning videos, and the reason being is I figured I'd save it. The same thing with dictionaries and things like that. We're going to be using those in games and stuff that we create, especially text-based games. We use all kinds of dictionary features, and the next video that I roll out actually is going to be explicitly on list dictionaries and maybe tuples, but I don't really care for those. Sometimes they're necessary. So basically we have a list, right? Or we have this variable that has 10 things in it, right? So wait, there's not 10 things in that list. Let's fix that. Okay, on line number 5 here, we're taking 10 things and we're using the split function, okay? And we're splitting it up. All this does is puts each one of these into, it gives them the space like we were to do it manually in a list, like down here. It's going to add single quotes to it, single quotes, space them out, space them out, space them out, space them out, and that's why we split it. So we split it so we can be lazy and just type it, and then we'll just split it. And then we have more stuff. We have this is an actual list of strings, and then now we're going to go through and we're going to add to the list. So how do we do that? Well, we can do it a few different ways. This is a while loop, obviously. So what we're saying is while the length of stuff, this right here, which equals this split up, so it's going to count how many there are, so we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, it's going to count 6. So we're going to split them up right here. And in this while loop, we're saying, okay, if this stuff this variable of the things that we split up here does not equal 10, then keep going until it does. So we have this variable next one we defined as more stuff pop. And what the pop function does is it pops it out of the list. So we're going to pop it out of more stuff, and then we're going to print this statement adding the next one. And down here is where we add to the list. When we say stuff, right? We're going to append to the next one. Okay, so it might be a little confusing, but it shouldn't be too tough to follow. All we're doing is we're taking out of one, putting in the other, adding it to it. Okay, then all this is doing down here is telling you the items. And once it reaches the number 10, we will be complete. And then we have a print statement for stuff. And then down here we have some other things going on with stuff. So let me show you what this looks like in the terminal. Okay, so here we have up here, wait, there's not 10 things in that list. Let's fix that. So what are we doing? We're adding boy. Okay. Now, where did boy come from? Let's go back to our code. You see here? When we popped that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we popped that 4 because when this thing up here, this list up here gets split, we're going to have 6 items, remember? And we're saying if it's not equal to 10. So if we wanted to catch all of these, we could say if it's not equal to 14 or 15 just to be safe. So we're popping it out of here, right? Then we're going to place it into that split list right here, the stuff. Basically our split little list. Okay, back to the terminal. And this is our while loop in action. So we're adding boy, because we took it away from that other one, and it's going to count it. Alright, there's 7 items now. Now we're adding girl. Alright, there's 8 items now. We're adding banana. Alright, there's 9. Corn, 10. There we go. Now here's our list. Apples, oranges, crows, telephone, light, sugar, boy, girl, banana, corn. Right. So, as you can see, we just added to that list. And down here we have our output from those other things that we had. And I'm going to show you those so they can... Okay, down these print statements. Okay, stuff. Stuff 1. That's going to be this one up here. So what should be returned is oranges. Okay. Alright. And stuff -1, which returns corn. Makes sense. Here's -1, right? 1. So remember, Python counts in zeros. So this is 0. This is 1. This is -1. This is -2. This is -3. Okay? Alright, this is kind of going into a list tangent, but anyway, I just wanted to show you some of that. Then we have these join statements down here, which we use to join everything together, and the same thing with the last one. We just had a nice little slice here from 3 to 5. Okay, let's not get into that too terribly. Yep, I'm going to have to stop this one. We're almost at the 15-minute mark, which is what I'm trying to shoot for. So go ahead and make yourself a game, and please submit it. Let me know. If you're interested in working on that project, you can just visit UnitedCodeClub.org. You can drop me a message here. It doesn't matter. If you're interested in working on that game, I'll give you a heads up to the repo, the GitHub, and we'll get... I look forward to working with you. All right. See you on the next one.